Yo, people, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for the preview jank for the West Ham game. And listen, it's been a lot of happening since we last spoke for that Man City game. But to be honest, we're not going to talk about the Super League and all that because we've been talking about it all week. I'm sure these guys have already given their opinions on other platforms about it. We've been speaking about it all week. It's nice to just finally, hopefully, talk about football. But before I do that, there's a little investigation happened on the Chelsea Twitter we'll get into. But before I get into that, Sam, how you doing, bro?
I'm good now. You know, football's good. You know what I mean? You know what it is? You know what the funniest thing is, yeah? I promise you, when all of this stuff started happening, I didn't know how deep it was until I started realizing, like, this could really change football forever. Like, when Gary Neville was doing his, like, monologue, and Jamie Carragher was doing their monologues, I was thinking, rah, these man mean it. Like, they even made Sky free for a sec for people to watch the stuff. Like, that is mad. That is mad. But yeah, I'm
Churchill, you know?
Bro.
Churchill going, you know? Going right to the MP.
Someone in the comments, Charlie, what are you saying, bro? Man's not 20 minutes late. 5:15 kickoff, bro. You gotta watch the times, bro. I keep you guessing. You know what I'm saying? Sky Sports up in here. It's not always a 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It can be 5:15. You never know. Mayo, how you doing, bro?
I'm Gucci still. I'm alright, you know. We go to war.
Facts.
We go to war. So I'm happy, but I'm serious. Like
you need to send the article that you made for how we can change the game to like flipping the Premier League and FA and that.
What you reckon? Them man want to listen?
Some of those suggestions, fam, is needed.
Them man are in cahoots, man. That's why, like, we have to go into it. But all of this, yeah, it's shown how nasty the game is, and that's why it's so funny. Like, the last time we played, I actually didn't watch because I went to go and play football in it, and I was like, this is what the game is about. This is like, why is not football not like this anymore?
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. We're going to war. London derby. Them man can't blow bubbles. We have to burst the bubbles. But I'm up for this game still. I'm really up for the rest of the season. Like, this is go time. You did mention there's been a little bit of distraction from the task at hand tomorrow with the news that's come out today.
They call it squeaky bum time. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to be talking about the game big time here. There's no Super League talk for the chat, so don't worry. I can see you, man, already quivering. You're like, no, please don't do this to me. No, it's not going to happen, all right? I'm done talking about it. But before we get into the match, right, Jorginho came out with some quotes. I don't know if you, man, saw it, because obviously...
I rate it.
It's honesty. It's just I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. But do you have what he said at hand so people can actually know
it up still?
Yeah, the quotes basically were he said Lampard was given the job a bit too soon, or he wasn't quite ready for the job. Yeah,
you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go on, read it out.
So he goes. So obviously he didn't say his name, but he said so. Frank Lampard. No, look, he said, look, I'll be really sincere here on Frank Lampard. I believe given he was a legend at a club, he skipped some steps necessary for learning before moving to a big club. He came to a club where he was a legend without having experience at other clubs. I think it came too soon. He skipped a few steps ahead and wasn't ready for a job at this level, to be honest. That's what he said. So you see media, like, if someone wants to say their opinion, they should be allowed to say their opinion.
Free speech.
And if their opinion happens to be right, then you can't be mad at him. Like, I did speak to one of my guys, hold tight George, and he was like, the only reason he didn't like it is because obviously it's a former legend. And I get that, but what we have to realize is, we can't keep saying that, we want footballers to be themselves and be real and we don't want all this fake stuff. And then when they come out and they're real, people are starting to try and like censor what they say. And you mentioned it with the AVB comment, Matisse, about how Lampard himself did this to AVB maybe about 9 to 10 years ago, which is true. But I don't even think that. I think they're similar, but I think they're different because in this case, right, all he's literally saying is like he wasn't ready. And let's be real, like Lampard for what Chelsea needed, it wasn't that time. The only thing that I would have liked is if he kind of gave some acknowledgement to the fact that first season, we did what we had to do. Because I think that a lot of people say that any manager could have done that. It's one thing to say it, it's one thing to do it. Lampard did what was required in that first season when everyone was saying, it's a very difficult, you can't bring in people, you have to use young talent. it would have been nice to have some sort of acknowledgement of that in there. But the truth is the truth. Two, I feel like someone's mentioned it here now. If it was, I don't know, who's someone that we could say proper Chelsea? If it was Mason Mount that said, you know what, Frank, I've got a lot of time for Frank, but I just wish that he had, a few more years.
That would be more nuts. That would be nuts. Yeah.
No one would say anything. No one would say anything. But because it's Jorginho and he's the one that is very easy to pick holes at, it's calm. It's the same thing like Arsenal, yeah. And then he came out today and he said that what he said was funny though. He came out and he said, you guys, when I'm down, you shouldn't boo me, you should help me, you should say that, I'm good, help me. And then, it will make me feel better and play better. And then I don't think he meant to say it, but he said it will help the world be better, which is a lie.
No way, that's what he said. That's so jokes.
If it was an Arsenal player that was light and he said that, Arsenal fans would have probably been like, you know what, let's get behind it. People have their favourites, so yeah.
I don't actually think he said anything, man, to be fair. Like, in reality, like, if we actually want players to be honest, like Mayowa said, it just makes more sense for like, and even at that, like, there was no disrespect. There was no
that's my point.
Like, there was no malice behind what he said. He just said his opinion. He worked under the man. So who's better to say an opinion about a manager than the player that was his vice captain? So if everyone's speaking up now, then they need to just relax. Don't get too much on your Chelsea. This blue, we love blue, everything blue, everything. We are Chelsea fans, but at the same time, we have to be reasonable in it and realize that these footballers have their own opinions.
Facts. I think people are being way too sensitive. That's my opinion, right? Because what he said was not disrespectful. He was just honest. Now, people can say the timing is a bit off, which is that's your opinion. I don't think really it matters. If you're going to say it,
when's the right time to say things like this?
When's the right time to really say that? If he had said that off season, maybe you could say maybe it's not going to distract the players. It's not going to. It shouldn't be distracting us. We've got firm objectives to get into the top 4 and beat West Ham this weekend. He was asked the question and he answered the question. He was honest. He wasn't disrespectful. He was vice captain under Lampard. So there's obviously a mutual respect between the two. And it's not anything different that Dennis Wise has said or anybody else has come out and said, that pundits or whatever, and said, listen, he wasn't experienced enough. He didn't have, he did skip a few steps. These are not lies. He did skip steps. We don't.
And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with. There's actually, that's the other side. There's nothing wrong with what happened with Lampard. Like, I was saying before, like, I remember when he joined, and I said, if this was any other work of life, and I saw someone within my workplace, be able to do what Lampard was done, I would feel away about it. But that's not his fault. That's just his situation that he's in. That his uncle is who his uncle is, his dad is who his dad is, he's a legend, his cousin is who his cousin is. That's just his circumstance. And you know what? He did what he, was going to do and everything.
If he was in that position, you would do the same thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Bro, we're not gonna hire another manager from Derby County who just misses out on promotion, are we? That's not going to happen. So he clearly did skip steps. It's like when you do a degree. If the degree is 4 years long and you leave after 2 years and you still get the same job, you skip some steps. You're going to be missing some knowledge. It's the same in any walk of life. And maybe you guys are in your feelings and sensitive about it because Lampard's the legend, cool. But Jorginho is just looking at it from an objective standpoint. He's not looking at this with emotion. He's not got tears in his eyes. He's just talking his opinion and saying it honestly.
He's being real.
So listen, he's just being real. Lampard said the same thing about AVB. I didn't complain. I'm not saying AVB and Lampard are the same stature, but what? Because one guy is working in Sainsbury's and another guy is a CEO, what, you're going to treat them differently? Is that what you man are saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At the time anyway, like AVB probably had more it was similar amount of experience anyway, or more years, yeah. So it's they're obviously going to try and twist it because we've got so many things to achieve by the end of the season, and they're going to want to make negative storylines as well. But I don't think anyone should really like buy into it to that extent because it's not that deep. It's just not
really
deep.
It's really not that deep.
If you're gonna tune into those things, enjoy them, man. Like when they're boring and still, and it's like, I think we can win the game. We have to be prepared.
Yeah, that stuff's boring. Yeah, trust, man.
When you hear real stuff, it's like, why is he saying that? It's like, what do you guys want? It's like sometimes, like I look at football fans, and I'm like, football fans play a big part in why footballers can't be themselves. It's because you guys don't know what you want. Like 1 minute it's like, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do that, you're playing the game tomorrow. The next time it's like, why aren't they not real? Why don't they say stuff? It's like you can't have your cake and eat it. It's got to be
imagine if Mount like obviously he's boys with Rice. Yeah, imagine if Mount sent Rice a message on Twitter and was just like, "Oh, watch what happens in the game." Yeah, like that stuff would be exciting. But I guarantee you, yeah, people would do the exact same thing that they did with Foden. Oh, maybe he's getting too big for his boots. How's he talking so much because he's only played in the Prem for? Just like you lot, just don't like personality, man. Or you like a certain, we've basically been trained to like a certain personality, because even with the way the media has tried to make certain players with personality look. Yeah. It's basically that. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I find funny? Yeah. Before I spin a joke on this, which will be the final point I'll make on this. People, the point that you're making is brilliant. People don't want personality. People only want personality when they're saying stuff that they like to hear. They don't want to hear stuff that they don't want to hear. Everybody knows what Jorginho said is true, but nobody really wanted to hear it. That's the problem. And definitely some people didn't want to hear it from him. Do you know what I find funny though? I remember when Rob Green was spitting about, talking about Maurizio Sarri, and he was kind of talking a similar way.
He was letting it fly.
But nobody had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Rob Green was talking on radio stations about Maurizio Sarri and this, that, and the third, and not having the right experience on how he should be treating Callum Hudson-Odoi, who, by the way, a lot of Sarri, what he said now is starting to come to fruition. Got the game time maybe too early, should have eased him in like a Foden with a Pep. But hey, nobody didn't want to listen to Sarri, who had decades and decades of experience in the game. Everybody sided with Rob Green, who's not a Chelsea legend. Who's not a Chelsea legend. Rob Green ain't done nothing. He's just been on the third man string goalkeeper, playing for other clubs on our bench in one season. Everybody wanted to, because you know why? Because they didn't like the manager. So when Rob Green was spitting his truth, because it was what everybody wanted to hear, it was like, yeah, it's Rob Green, great stuff. I love that. I want to hear more. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, it's no problem. You see what I'm saying? So, listen, the hypocrites continue, fam. You either hear it or you don't. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think it's hilarious that when Rob Green talks, who's got absolutely no commodity,
no credentials
to be talking.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but come on.
Man, like Rob, do you know what I'm saying? Listen, it's funny how the world works, but the nice little spin that I want to put on this is that, listen, in 2012, AVB got sacked, got chatted about him. Lampard got sacked gets sacked now, getting chatted about him. Lampard, Jorginho, both vice captains. Maybe there's a trophy coming our way called the Champions League and FA Cup. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Two vice captains talk. I'm just saying. It's not a coincidence.
It's aligning too well still. It's aligning too well. It's even spooky.
Yeah, man, listen, maybe Dubois needs to just add to the thread. You know what I'm saying? Just take that, put it in your threads, just keep it moving. I'm just drawing parallels here. But listen, the game against West Ham is big, man. You guys saw that Brighton game. It was...
I want to say the
players weren't focused. They weren't focused.
They weren't focused, yeah. It was bad.
They weren't focused. It was,
there was no intensity, no concentration. They were finished. You know what I'm saying? They was bad. So that's just put more pressure on us, because I think before we had these 3 games, I said to myself, I need a win against Brighton, Palace, West Brom, 9 points. And we've got 4 points. So we're a little bit behind schedule, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. So this game against West Ham is huge. I mean, basic as per usual, the basic start to this is how confident are you guys going into it? Because we're level on points with West Ham.
We're getting 3 points.
No, we have to. I can't even think of. Yeah, like I can't think of ways.
This is a big week. Like, we have to give it everything for these 2 games, and then, like, literally, we have to give it everything against West Ham, just to make sure that we can sort of put them out of the conversation. Then we have to give it everything against Madrid.
Everything is in our hands right now. Like, our destiny is in our hands. The final, the top 4, and the Champions League. We don't need anything from anyone else. We just need to get the points and the wins on the board, and that's it. Like, so we can't even blame anyone for anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we need to win against West Ham. We need to win the rest of the games. Like, there's no excuses anymore, man.
If anything, I'm more confident because it's a big game. Do you know what I'm saying? These brothers, Leeds, Southampton, West Brom, Brighton, that's where they want to drop their points. But the big games, they know what it is. And I think Lingard potentially is back as well. So that's going to be fun. Do you know what I'm saying? I think, I keep saying it. You can't really decide how the top 4 race is going to go based on fixtures, because if you could do that, then why did Man United lose at home to Sheffield United? Why did Liverpool get slapped up 7-2 to Villa? Why did you just get slapped up West Brom? You can't predict it on the fixtures, because that's not how the season's been going. But one thing I will say is that, listen, these guys, they're doing up what they did last season again, which is looking like they're going to take it to the final day. And that, for me, when you're chasing 3 competitions, that's where that might come back and bite you on the arse. I mean, if they finish 6th like they did in 2012 and win the Champions League and qualify that way, I'm not really going to be complaining. But it's a dodgy game we're playing, man. I mean, with what happened this week with Real Madrid as well, I think UEFA might just slide us into the final with their decision making.
The referees in that game are gonna be on some Chelsea Barcelona stuff. They are gonna rig the game.
They better.
So badly.
We deserve this. We deserve this right now, bro.
It's gonna be on steroids that day. And they won't show any replays as well. It might even be that guy, the UEFA president, in the VAR office himself, being like, "No, flag that one. Like, it's going to be so mad. But no, on the real, I feel like with West Ham, like one thing, I don't know if who's going to pet the back for them, but there is potential places in their team that we can expose. And one thing that Lingard's been in amazing form, but I don't think he's going to have the space to operate in, which he's really thrived in, and the third man runs, etc. So, oh wow, what's going on here?
Wait.
Why do these people always do this to you?
What do you mean? What is super chat?
You guys bored. Like, what is this, man?
That is so jokes. Oh my days, that threw you off completely. I had to look down and see that, man. About this was happening. Oh gosh.
What we did?
That's what you get, man. You got ultra fans, fam.
Man, where are my mods, man? Seriously. you mods. Let me go and look how many mods are in the chat. Maybe there's not enough of you.
This is what happens when football does a madness. Everyone just starts moving mad.
No, that name is just ridiculous as well.
I'm seeing bare mods in the chat. There's at least 5 of you in there, man. Come on, guys.
So the page has been compromised. Man said some bent copies,
you know.
Guys, too funny. That is too funny.
Back to your point, bro.
But yeah, no, they've got some things in their team that we can sort of, expose. Of course, a game at the Westfield Arena it's never easy. But we can do this, man. We can do this, and we know that they've been conceding bare goals. They've been conceding like 3-4 goals like consecutively. So we have to yam with food. We have to eat. We have to eat food against them.
But it's just so frustrating because like every time someone has a good game, and we're like, you know what, they got to play every game for the rest of the season. Yeah, the next game they'll just end up being quiet. Like Havertz is still for me the guy that has to start at the false 9. Yeah, but it's just frustrating to know that we don't necessarily know what type of Havertz is going to turn up. Like we know if he's fully in the game, he's going to find the spaces, he's going to be in the box, he's going to cause the backline and their midfield like problems. But if not, the ball's just going to keep on bouncing back because he can't hold the ball or he can't link up well or he's just not in the game. And it's frustrating because I feel like right now, even under Tuchel, the amount of games that he's managed, I'm sure he would have wanted to know he's like solid 11. You know what I mean? And I still don't think he does like at this stage, which is the only worrying thing for me, like going into this game. Like I don't actually know what team he's necessarily going to pick. I know what team I'd want to see, but off of form and these things, I don't know, man.
This is the thing is that they'll just quickly go through this super chat. You wish Lampard was never manager. We would have been better off finishing 7th with Blanc and a transfer ban. Disrespect to you.
No one's disrespecting Lamps. Everyone just needs to. One's disrespecting Lamps. He did what he did first season. Second season, it didn't work out. We still respect him for that first season. He's still a legend of the club.
Yeah,
but you can't hold on to being a legend of the club. Leicester sacked Ranieri after he won a title. Like, there's so many stories in football where the loyalty doesn't buy you years in a job. Like, it just
there is no loyalty in football. That's the harsh reality. There's no loyalty in football. And I'm not saying that it's basically a good thing or anything, but like, you don't rest on your laurels. Lampard in a few years' time will probably reflect on his time and be like, you know what, it didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I learned from that experience. This is someone that wants to be a top manager and he's going to go away and he's going to, manage and work his way. Someone just said, didn't tell you? It's true. We sacked this guy after finally winning the Champions League. We wasn't even supposed to win the Champions League. We won it. I'm pretty sure they wanted to sack him on that day. They were like, listen, you managed to pull off a miracle, but we don't think you're the guy. They gave him a couple of months. It started looking shaky. They got rid of him. Like, at the end of the day, there's no loyalty when it comes to that high.
And Lampard knows that himself because he was under the same.
He said it.
For years. He knew what it was like, man. Let's be honest. Like, he was not surprised. Like, obviously, he would have wanted to see out the season, but at the same time, he knows what Chelsea are like. People can't act like we're not used to this. This isn't new. This is not new with us. Like, so
I think a lot of people thought it was going to change because of him, which I thought was
Roman is still Roman.
A little bit too hopeful because
you know what? You just said Roman. Yeah, I know it's a slight side topic, but one of the funniest things I've seen this week, and it was today actually, was Tuchel said that he hasn't spoken to Abramovich since he joined, which I find hilarious because it's so true. Like,
no way.
He's just there, like with the finances and that. There's certain people he needs to talk to and that, but you're not going to speak to him. You're not going to hear from him. The only manager that probably spoke to him was it Ancelotti that used to get the text messages when we would lose? He would get the question mark text message.
I can't even remember.
It was Ancelotti or someone else. I find it, but there was one of the managers, our previous managers, that when we would lose, Abramovich would text a question mark.
Well, think about it. In the job that you've worked, if you've worked for like a massive company, did you ever chat to the CEO?
You don't chat to the CEO.
You don't chat to them. So I don't know why suddenly now football, everybody's like, what? What do you mean? What? You're not going out for dinner and going on the yacht and whatnot? No, of course not. Omar and Cantes, or Canty with the Z and then the 7, is bare mad tongue twister. But you two have been added as mods, so just check your updated features there. Do you know what I'm saying? Man, just added 2 of you there, so it should be fine now. But yeah, listen, when it comes to this game, I feel like Mason Mount, he's got to be in those forward positions
because has to play forward
against Brighton. Man, he was so deep. Like, and then the movement ahead of him just wasn't there. The praise that I've been given to Mount is that not only will he take a shot on goal, but his movement in the 10 positions to find half spaces and pick up the ball to half turn has been really strong. And that's why Jorginho has been able to fizz it into him, or, you know, like that goal against Atletico away from home. But if you don't have him there, you know, we know Ziyech, he plays the game at his own pace. He's not really that zippy around, but that's cool. I don't mind having different paces in the team, but you need to have a variety. Havertz is the same. He plays the game at his own pace. It can get very slow and lethargic if you don't have someone that's nippy, someone that is contagious, who makes everybody else move a bit quicker. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes your Hudson-Odois and your Mason Mounts in those positions are just going to just move that ball a bit faster. So yeah, man, it's
even when Hudson-Odois came on, I appreciate him so much just because he's a player that just plays with intent. You can see that he's trying to get things going whenever he's on the ball, whenever he's off the ball, the movement. And that's why it's just annoying, because I genuinely, like, going off of the Brighton game, like, my whole lineup completely changed. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I would have gone with the usual front three. That obviously the back five is basically the same in every game. The midfield 2 is basically the same. It's the front three. It's a front three that is.
Kepa's making.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Do you know what is as well? Is we are probably going to have one eye on that Real Madrid game. It's kind of hard not to. So, do you think both games are equally as important, or can you say one means more than the other at this point?
No, both are important.
Madrid means more, man.
I'll tell you why.
Madrid means more to you.
100%, man.
No, I'll tell you why.
You know, there's Courtois, bro. Do you not remember what that Donny said before he left?
There's Hazard. There's Kovacic going back home. There's so many plot twists within this game.
What Courtois said before he left, and even when he left the first game, he kissed his badge. We need to wipe him. We need to.
I don't like what he did to KDB as well. So for that, we have to avenge him.
What did he do? Sleep with the girls?
Yeah, he swept his missus and that. He's a bad.
You see, just a scummy guy, man. He's just a scummy guy. Everything about him, man. He is, but I need to see him hacked in. You know that thing where he does when he concedes and he puts his head up, like, I need to see that.
Do you know what we need? We need a goal celebration in that game from anybody, don't care who it is, and they need to be in the shot while he's got his head up, and we need that. You know when Jose Mourinho, back in the Tottenham game last season, Jose Mourinho was looking down and they had all the youth players hugging. We need that same photo, but with Courtois with his head up. That picture will be worth its weight in gold. I'm telling you.
Facts.
You better hope that gay images are doing what they need to do, boy. They should have got a good camera. But With you guys mentioned Ziyech. One thing I will say that I have to say about Ziyech is his of course he's not the high paced player, but I've seen his intensity improve in the last few games.
Facts,
it was only until the commentator mentioned it I thought, oh yeah, it's actually true. Like I didn't realize how long he had not played because of when the Dutch league stopped. I had totally forgotten about that. Of course, he made his transfer and got injured, but because their league stopped, he was out of action for a long time.
March.
And I don't know how he is, like whether he was like training hard and everything, but he seems very Margo. He doesn't seem like this sort of person. It seems sort of like Hazard. Like he's not like a hard trainer. He's a talent that shows up. Yeah. So I think he's improved. I think he's doing well. And I feel that hopefully we can see the player that we know that he can be a lot more next season. With the Havertz point, it's really interesting as well because I feel like with him, he's gotten over all of that stuff we mentioned at the beginning of the season. But yes, thank you. My man reminded me. Yes, we've got the Benzema. We've got go-kart versus Formula One as well. How can I forget? That is the biggest jewel. I actually capped it. But with Havertz, he's in that stage now because he's got over the long COVID and settling in and everything. As a young player, sometimes you just need a run of games to sort of familiarize yourself with what's going on, and that's hard when the team's changing all the time. If the team's stable, you can't. X player's making this sort of run. I need to move here, or X person likes to do this, I need to do that. Of course, you pick up those things in training, but in game time, it's a different thing. I feel like it can be really important. I feel like his movement does not just so much for him, but so much for others. Like he's the type of player that his movement sells a defender and someone else can commit into space. And if you've got someone like Werner who has the ability to, make the runs, you just need him to finish, which is another question. But I saw an interview of him and he was saying he actually sounded like in good spirits. He actually, I think, quote unquote, he said, I've hit the post most times. I've missed open shots most times. I've done this so much times. If you added everything together and if everything was going right, I'll be on nearly 20 goals in the Prem. So he knows that it's nearly there. It's just about getting it right. And I can take encouragement from that. But I think we can beat them. They've got what's this guy from Hull that they signed? And the centre back.
Dawson. He's suspended.
He got suspended, didn't it?
Yeah, he's suspended.
It's a Diop in that we have to play. And don't get me wrong, I like Issa Diop. But I know that he can do some tomfoolery as well. Like there's an opportunity for us to really capitalize. And the reason why I say this game's as important as the Madrid game, if this game doesn't go the way we want it to, it's harder to then pick it up because you're thinking, crap, we're going to Madrid not in form. These men know how to do heritage and everything. But Madrid have injuries as well. They've got COVID issues. They've got injuries, but you're thinking, oh man, we didn't capitalize. And after that, we've got City, we've got Arsenal,
Leicester as well.
Leicester. We've got these games where if we beat West Ham, we've essentially said, listen, you're no longer in this race. We've dealt with you. 1 down, 2 to go. So that's why we have to take it seriously and not hopefully, we have to get the win. The
big team news from West Ham is that Jesse Lingard's fit, right? So that in itself is a problem because let's be real, this brother is reincarnated since he started kicking ball for them. He is the definition of it's not about your setbacks, it's about your comebacks. You know what I mean? He's had a very tough time in his personal life. I think everybody kind of knows about it at this point. He's spoken on it quite a few times. And he said in a recent interview he wasn't sure if he was going to keep kicking ball. He was happy to be on the bench because mentally he couldn't be on the bench.
Which is nuts to even admit, to be fair.
But now, shit, bro, he is firing.
No, he's turned up. He's turned up. Bro, that's the thing. That's the thing with Lingard. When he's on his game, he's very influential. Like that's why I understand why he went to like the World Cup and things like that, and he plays for England because he genuinely is one of the few players that can find that space and he just pops it. Like he's so quick with his movement. Like when you watch him play, sometimes I used to wonder like why do people rate this guy so much? But his movement off the ball and his intensity as well when he's going forward, it's like, okay, cool, he means it. However, not many teams have Kante in it. And those spaces that he's trying to pick up, I can just see, them ones where you visualize what happens, bro. I can see Kante just eating him up. He's just going to eat him up. He's just going to eat him up.
I hope so. Listen, last time we went to West Ham was last season. I think we got Arsenal 3-2.
Man said Kante's fasting as well. Yeah, Kante's football. These men have been doing this for a long time.
They've been doing this their whole life, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect his performance levels that much. It's a good consideration to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll be all right still.
No, I think he'll be fine. He's been doing this his whole life. One thing that I am getting flashbacks to is that West Ham performance last season when we got
3-2. What with letting Yarmolenko?
That was a bad.
And then man, that was Rudiger, bro. Rudiger has to make amends for that.
Yeah, he has to. He has to remember it. Someone should even message him like, bro, don't forget the last time we played these man last year. Like, you have to make up for it, like, because we can't be having those mistakes again. We literally let them back into that game.
Yeah, Lingard is bringing some sort of Dimitri Payet type influence. You know what I'm saying? He's looking the clubs he's been linked with since that move. Like, I'm hearing PSG and Milan, and so yeah, he is definitely the danger man we need to watch. Craig Dawson's obviously out as well. I think Declan Rice is going to still be out, isn't he? Yeah,
Declan Rice is out.
Yeah, he's still out.
If he's back, then they need to have an inquiry there. He shouldn't be back here.
Yeah,
he's too soon.
He shouldn't be back. The only person we've got out is Ziyech, right?
Is Ziyech out? Is he?
Still got the hamstring issue. He won't be playing.
That the only issue?
I think he'll miss out on Madrid as well.
Kova as well.
Yes, again, Kova will miss out.
Kova. Yeah,
he'll miss out on Madrid.
Yeah, everyone else should be fine. Yeah, to what I'm thinking now. Yeah, so it's one of those ones where listen, there's no room for error here. I think some people were panicking because Leicester won. I think last night was it, and Tottenham won as well their game, and people are saying we're out of the top four. We're not out of the top four race. We are in a sticky scenario, and we're definitely
very sticky.
We definitely need to win now. You know what I'm saying? We've had a little patchy moment. I think 1 win out of the last 3. I think potentially maybe 2 out of the last 5. So we've definitely had our run now, but we need to capitalize now. We're gonna get into. I guess. Did you guys see Tuchel's press conference? That was just.
Yeah, I saw bits of it.
Nothing. There's nothing to take from that.
No. The only thing we can take is that he's real. Man's defending the random. He said, "Listen, like I'm here to do a job in it. Like I don't know about all of that type of stuff, and all of that type of stuff is up there. And when we need to know more, we need to know more." So yeah,
they asked him a lot of Super League questions.
Yeah,
a lot of.
They need to let it. Like obviously they're not going to let it go.
They're not going to let it go
for a long time. But at the same time, bro, like that's why I kind of understood Klopp's frustration when he was heating what's his name? Gary Neville, because like I hear you getting onto these teams, and
they didn't know
onto these owners, but all of these guys didn't know. So when you're addressing like the managers and the players, like address them like with a bit more like sincerity, like understand that they're in the respect as well. Like understand they're in the same situation as you. Like you didn't know, they didn't know. When they're asked about these things, Tuchel's going to be asked about it. He got the job like how many months ago? He ain't got a text from Roman. Like family, he spoke to like how many people in the Chelsea board. Like he's just focused on the job, same way as the players and other managers. So just like if anything, they need to just if the owners really care of the big 6 that were involved, get them in one mad press conference, get them answering all the questions you want, and then just move on. Like because it's dragging. Obviously, it's the same week in it, but they're asking them the same questions in every press conference.
The thing is with them as well is that not all of them have the clout at their club to speak. So Klopp's got clout, like Pep's got clout. These guys are like. You know what I'm saying? The Kylie Jenners of Instagram. They got clout. Whereas I said that when you drink it just Klopp's like Klopp's just like a guy with a couple million followers on IG. Do you know what I mean? He's just
Klopp's football Twitter, man. It's not that glamorous. It's just chaotic.
Klopp's got all the clout. Tuchel's just one of these guys from TikTok that just link their IG in the bio and then he's got a few followers, but he ain't really got that much clout at Chelsea yet. He's been doing well with the form and whatnot, but Roman don't really rate him that highly yet. You gotta win trophies before you start getting Roman's approval. So man, he can't be out here kicking and screaming and saying all these things against what the club's doing and whatnot. He doesn't have that kind of clout. I think he's handled himself very well. A lot of the people are saying in the chat that Tuchel said everyone is fit, so it really is just must be covered. And that's out. Obviously, I think he said potentially doubt for Real Madrid as well. Yeah, like Mayowa was saying, and he's going to be back for Fulham. Listen, when it comes to the team, I mean, Kepa played against Brighton, kept another clean sheet. I think he's kept a clean sheet every single game he's played under Tuchel, which is quite impressive. It's one of those ones where they must be building up his game time to sell him, right?
But did you see what Tuchel said about him though? Tuchel is really a big fan of him. He said that he's one of the biggest personalities in the change room and on the training ground, and that he's like proper happy like with him, and he's happy that he's able to it's able to translate when he's playing as well. So I don't think that they're bolstering him up to sell. I think they're really trying to make a competition of the top spot. I don't think either of them are upset to be in that situation.
Yeah, no, this is what I said a few months back. I said like literally, like Kepa's, he's on a long-term contract. We're not going to recoup the money. So like, and Mendy was bought in for like a very decent fee. So it's like we're going to build both of you, and it's like whoever wins. And because of how their personalities are, like you wouldn't get a situation where one of them's like, oh, I've had enough of this. Like. It's that's I think it's not a bad thing. Like if we can see development in Kepa, that's actually a good thing. And like you said, Matisse, like potentially you never know. He might get to a situation where he says, I've had enough of this, but at least his resale value's gone up. Is that very similar to Christensen? People kind of thought, he's playing and it's just making him look good in the market. No, Christensen's going to be there next year. He'll be there next year. Like all of that talk is squashed now. Like he's proven that he can, that he can potentially do it. So. It's good. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. With I would start Mendy in this one though. I'll be like, if you start whoever you're going to start in the Champions League game, I just get that consistency with your back five unit. So I would go Mendy for this one. That's no slight on Kepa because he's like from what he's shown this season, he's been good. But I would go with the trial and tested person for the majority, which is Mendy.
Yeah, it is interesting though because he actually might go with Kepa for both. I don't know. But the thing is with Kepa, when he first came in, I actually really liked him just because of his mentality. Like even that situation he had with Sarri telling him, I don't want to come off. Like I kind of respected that in a sense because man was like, okay, bro, like this is me. As I was down, but I'm ready to go. Like even with his mistakes, you can see the amount of anger he has towards himself. Like, and I think we kind of took him out of the limelight and said, you know what, build your confidence up. Get to know the players, the team, the surroundings, and from what Tuchel said, he's done that very well. He's still attentive in training. He's still speaking to the players, still uplifting the players, even though he was brought in to be the first team keeper and now he's a second team keeper. Like if you see a player go through that situation and they're getting better at the same time, why would you not start them? Like why would you not play him? Because realistically, when we did buy him to be our first team keeper. So I wouldn't be surprised if he plays tomorrow. I genuinely wouldn't.
I personally don't think he'll ever be good enough to start for this club, if I'm honest. Because I think I think fundamentally there's a lot of
flaws in this game, innit?
There's too many flaws. Like you're not tall enough for a start. Yeah, you know when it comes to claiming crosses and reaching the top corner of the long shots, you're never going to be able to do that at the highest level because you're not tall enough and you're not going to grow. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is that mad? I don't think it's that mad though, man.
It's that mad,
honestly.
Bro. It's that mad.
Nah, because there's some of the best keepers have been tiny, man.
But for me, in this league, maybe in different leagues,
especially from Spain.
For me, in this league, you have to have a tall, commanding goalkeeper. And also in this league, I've never seen a Premier League winning team that rotates their goalkeepers. I've always seen a leading world-class goalkeeper in goal that has an understanding and a chemistry and a consistency with their backline. And also, financially...
Tuchel confirmed that Mendy will start today. Sick. I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, he did. I saw that as well, actually. He said he'll start.
Also, not that this is... Jeff, I've seen you in the comments of another video. This is not Kepa hatred, it's just honesty. Because I've seen him, but you need to just... When I'm trying to be objective, there's no point just saying, hey, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool.
It doesn't mean it's hate.
It doesn't mean it's hate, it's an opinion. And in my opinion, he's not ever going to be good enough because I can see too many flaws in his game. He's not tall enough. He's not that commanding Petr Cech, Courtois type figure. Yeah. He's not. And for me, in this league, you need a tall, commanding goalkeeper and you need a consistent goalkeeper. I haven't seen a goalkeeper that rotates. And also, not that financially it's my concern, it's not my money, but the wages that he's on and the amount he costs, he has to be first choice. Like, you don't pay that kind of bread to a person for them to be rotational or backup. We didn't pay 50 million for Chilwell to be rotational or backup. We didn't pay Kante his new contract, I think maybe one of the highest paid players at the club, to be rotational backup. I understand that competition in the squad is good, but only in certain places, only in certain positions. For me, goalkeeper should not be rotated. That is not a successful model. I've never seen it. So I don't know what's going on in the chat, but yeah.
I want to address something in the chat quickly. Can Captain Toby Loba, can he confirm whether Harry Kane is set to miss his second consecutive finals that he's supposed to feature in? Is that true, or has he been injured for 2 finals now?
Mate,
not been fully ready for 2 finals. Is that correct?
Toes is on a mean streak. He's on a mean streak. There's a lot of
he won't respond to this one. Why is Harry Kane not fit for finals? He won't respond.
I think Toby's just unhappy that his club entered the Super League, got all that money, and then sacked Jose Mourinho, and now they're out. They actually have to pay him now. Now they're like, and I said to Toby, listen, I know Ryan Mason came as an interim, but you might not be able to afford to pay a world-class brother to come in, so you might actually have to stick with him financially. So just hold tight.
Chris Powell, don't worry, man. Chris Powell will come and
Yeah, like, I know you guys are talking about like elite managers and whatnot, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you got the facilities for that big man. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
hold on. So what? Stadium with no name, no Super League, no manager.
Levy was banking on that Super League. He thought that he had met. Like,
did you see that protest as well?
Yeah. Singing.
These men were doing Kumbaya at the protest, you know.
They were singing songs. They were singing songs, bro.
These men were going protest with Copperberg, you know. What kind of protest is that, bro? That protest funny. Looking like Sunday service, bro. Ridiculous. You're ashamed of yourselves.
No, that is hilarious, bro.
What do you guys mean in the chat that a goalkeeper doesn't need height?
They're saying that some goalkeepers are springy.
Yeah, but like Kepa's not that springy.
Kepa's the same height as De Gea, right? He's like they're similar heights.
But De Gea
De Gea did go gym, but I can't lie. I think Kepa's from his build now to when he started, he's
maybe if he just gyms up a little bit. But even still, look, we're not just talking about height here. We're talking about a save percentage.
Defo. There's definitely more memories of Kepa doing madness than him doing good things, yeah. But at the same time, it can be rebuilt. Like he can, like the way we're putting him into the squad now, giving him a few games here and there, he's getting clean sheets. Soon there'll be a time where he might be that keeper, and we might have to trust him. You know what I mean? Like if the man has a 7-year contract, yeah, and he's done what 2 years of it. He's done 2 years of it now, or 3 years of it.
This is his 3rd year. Yeah,
he's got a long time to go, bro. We have to get used to him and get him better at all costs, because he wasn't supposed to start the way he did, and unfortunately he did. But you know, he can step it up, man. 100%.
Someone in the chat is so rude. Man said put him on eBay. You might have just lost the plot.
Wow.
Listen,
man said, no FIFA, quick sell. Man said quick sell. You know,
don't even look at the stats of that. Just let him
go.
This will be his 3rd season. For me, like I said, I just don't think he's got, like, everybody's got their ceiling, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Do I think he's a Premier League winning goalkeeper? I don't think so. If he changed, if it happens, it happens. But would you have said that about De Gea when he first joined United? He made a lot of kindness.
You wouldn't have.
Probably wouldn't have.
It's a fact. You wouldn't have.
But I must say, everybody does do that De Gea Kepa comparison a lot. Like De Gea was making mistakes with his commanding, but save percentage wise, he wasn't.
He had some minerals still. He had some minerals.
Yeah, he wasn't Kepa's level save percentage wise. I'm just not going to be the guy. Like
they've not given me enough electrolytes
before
yet.
Tuchel came in, none of this chat would have been telling me, So I don't know why now everybody's got their shields up over their chests about Kepa in this chat now.
Because he's changing, bro. The Donny
he's proper toast. He's come through. That's a proper toast, bro.
He's trying, bro. If I see someone trying and they're getting better, there's no reason for me to say that he can't touch the heights that we thought he would.
Does that apply to everybody else in the squad then? I'm just gonna ask you and the
like
chat.
who?
So
who? It depends.
Alonso.
That's different. Age and ability wise. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
No, I'm serious because Marcus Alonso's won a title. This formation suits him. Chat.
But age, though,
no,
bro.
Let me know, chat. Let me know.
Age is a big factor. Age is a big factor, and you can't tell me Alonso is calm.
He's experienced.
Alonso is genuinely calm. Fair enough, he's got experience, all of this stuff, yeah. But players like Alonso, they're calm with what they're good at. Like, he's not trying to improve. He's happy with the skill set that he has. With Kepa, you can see he's trying to be more commanding. He's trying to make better saves. He's trying to be more assertive. I appreciate that. If he's doing that, then he can eventually become the guy that we thought that he would be. Like, I don't think it's as clear cut as you think, man. Trust me. Kepa's not done, man. He's not done.
Cool. I just want to ask. I want to ask. All right, let's get into making our teams. Tapping Tobes, yeah. I love this guy. Look at that. There we go. Some positivity. There we go. Smash the likes, people.
Tapping Toby Loba.
Tobes always comes into this chat on smoke to just annoy the Chelsea fans, and he ends up being nice at the end. It's lovely. It's a lovely cycle we got here. I got to chat to him Big Six later tonight. That's going to be fun. Hopefully that's just on football and no more Super League, man.
Well, they're on a protest anyway, so.
Oh yeah, well Arsenal tonight.
Yeah, they've started already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they started.
Let's see. I can't wait to see the images. Then is there Bear Man there or what?
It's like it looks like wireless. Like there's Bear Man. It doesn't look like it don't look like the Spurs thing. It don't look like Hotel Academy. This is like
Gronky is, bro. He's not cutting, bro. These man need to realize that these owners, that it's not just by a click of a finger. It's not happening. Like the frustration, I hear it. I hear all the frustration with all the fans.
What would
like
you do
the Super League protest was different because those things, I feel like you can kind of affect that in a sense, because if fans say we're not coming to the matches and all these things, then change will have to happen. And they didn't know the reaction they were going to get from the fans from the Super League. But if you want an owner out, I don't know if I genuinely don't know if you go in there and saying, bro, he's seeing like Josh and his dad, they've been seeing Kroenke out since they've got there. Like they've accepted that that's what is a part of their Arsenal journey, bro. Like they will accept.
The Glazers, you think that's
the Glazers? They're staying, bro. All these American owners, they are staying, bro. It's like having employees, or it's like having employees that aren't happy, and you're a CEO. Like you'll try and make things better, like slowly you'll try and make it better, but you're not cutting. If you're making bread from that company, why would you cut if some employees are saying, "Oh, we want you out," and it doesn't affect you actually leaving? Like it's not like them doing this, things will suddenly change. I hear the ambition, but I don't know, man.
The thing is with Arsenal fan base as well, I'm afraid, is that you man are still going to go to the games. Like you're not going to hit him in his pocket, I'm afraid, and that is the only way that he might consider. If he starts losing money, then he might say, all right, cool, I need to pack up because these brothers are not riding for me anymore. If you keep buying the glow in the dark tracksuits that Adidas are putting out, and you keep buying the tickets that are at ridiculous prices. I think you have the highest price season tickets in the league, and you keep buying the merch. You know what I'm saying? If you keep doing that, then I'm afraid he's not going anywhere. So he's not going anywhere. I kind of do agree with you. The protest is good. It's nice. And it's a good concert and whatnot. And maybe you might get a few performances like you did at Tottenham. Maybe a little Ed Sheeran thing, busking thing. We might get the next person to appear or X Factor on there. You know what I'm saying? But if you really want to get him out, you kind of have to stop buying the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got to hit them hard. Like if you're really trying to hit them, like don't watch the games, bro. Like even the thing is, even with Spurs, like I even think like Spurs have more of a likelihood of getting Levy out because of how close he is to the club. But I think there was a story about how when Kroenke originally came, he was asking someone, what colour is Arsenal, fam? Like a man was actually asking what colour, and I think they were playing away, so he didn't know that they weren't wearing red, fam. So he was like, "Oh, like, where's my team?" He went to the game and said, "Where's my team?" Like he's not here all the time. Like someone like Levy, I feel like he will feel the effects. But Kroenke, man, what other team does he? He's enjoying in the States.
Just scrolling through Twitter, just looking like, hey, look, the Arsenal fans are charting again.
You see with all of this, like I get why people say like, you know, don't stop spending everything, and I get it, because ultimately, if you F up the money, you can F up other stuff. But what you have to remember, yeah, is, and I'll explain it quickly because all of this Super League stuff, I'll try to stay away with it. But if you look at every single club here that's had a takeover and everything, all of these people have done stuff because they see an opportunity to make money down the line. Like, there's not many people that take over a football club because, you know, they really wanted to have a football club. No, it's a business. So if the business is booming or making money for you, then you keep it. If the business has potential to make money for you, you keep it. If you feel like your money will be best spent elsewhere, you sell it. Or if it's not making money, you sell it. With Arsenal, it's got to a stage where them man can just operate, yeah, and get good money from like whoever it is. Yeah, now they're going in. They can just operate and get in. The only way I see him,
level.
I think that this is much bigger than Chelsea's one still.
Probably
it's
is
much bigger. If you see the helicopter view, it's crazy. But if you look at like Arsenal, yeah, and the Cronkies and everything, like, until there's an incentive to sell, that is the only way things are going to change. Like, he's not going to leave because people are shouting and everything. Like, at the end of the day, the way he will see it is, you people are telling me to leave, but I've still invested my money in this club, like, and I need to get a return from it. I'm not just going to leave because you guys are offended. And that's the reality. In Germany, it's a bit different, because when you've got the 51+40, like, fans can kind of say, well, yeah, we know you've put commercial money in, but this is our club, we actually own it. None of you guys own Arsenal. That's the reality situation. You don't own it, so you can tell people what to do, but if they own something, they're gonna do whatever works for them, and that's the sad reality of football. But
that's another thing, because even with what you're saying and what I think Tobe said in the chat, yeah, he was like, how if you've got a season ticket, like, it will be hard. It will be kind of be hard to, like, you know, say, oh, I'm not gonna go to the game and jump on waiting list and all that stuff, because you love the team. It's like you love the team, but the guy that's owning this team is just on a madness. So you're torn between your love for the team and your hate for the owner. So it's a tough spot to be in. Like, I guess like protest is like a small piece where they can feel like they're getting some frustration out, but I don't know what it will lead to. I know that the Super League protests were, they definitely had more of an impact. And even at that, I saw John Barnes speaking about it. And this was one of the first times I genuinely agreed with him. Like, I don't think the fans had anything to do with the change, really and truly. Yeah, they put it on us because they want us to feel a part of it. But I think that whole commotion basically proved how far away they care, how much they don't care about the fans and just the bread of making money from these teams and money from us. Like, it's nuts, man. It's actually nuts. I think the Super League stuff exposed how far away they are from loving how the sport used to be anyway.
No, Toby makes a good point here about the season ticket holders, because to be honest, although I say that, if you do give up your season ticket, someone else will just take it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not my idea, which is naive, was that, you know, if everyone doesn't go, then you're going to see maybe, you know, 70% crowd attendance or 80%, but you're still going to see a drop off. But that's probably not going to happen. You know, they're still going to sell out. So there's not really any point, I guess. But yeah, stop buying the merch would be a start anyway. Didn't beat Brighton and West Brom. I'm scared. Listen, we're gonna pick our team for the West Ham game as well, while Arsenal are doing a madness at the Emirates. I guess from what it sounds like, I mean, there's a lot of chat in the chat about Mendy and his ability now and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sticking with Mendy in this game. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I guess Mendy. I think Mendy. Yeah, Mendy. He's gonna
Mendy
start.
In goal, yeah.
Yeah, get him in goal, man.
Mendy.
Yeah, I was there. Mendy goes back in. Back three. What are you thinking, Sam?
I enjoyed the Christensen, Rudiger Zuma. Not gonna lie to you, I enjoyed it. So I wouldn't be mad.
Composure, yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I can see Aspie coming back in. But I wouldn't be mad at that. Everyone
say Aspie coming back in like it's a bad thing? Like, why do people not like
Aspie's got to come back in for me?
Yeah.
No, I love Aspie. Don't get it twisted. But
no, I'm not saying you.
But Christensen on the right side, yeah. Obviously, he didn't do we as a team, he didn't play great against Brighton, yeah. But at the same time, I just felt. Let me not even say I felt safer, because I do feel safe with Aspie. But on the ball, Christensen gives me
On
like
the ball, he's better.
Yeah, like it gives me that.
I've always felt like the guy in the middle needs to be best on the ball.
Yes, he does.
But to be honest, all three of them need to be good on the ball because you're losing.
Yeah, exactly. But the like even with Rudiger, he's become so good at driving forward and like finding passes. In that game, he was just wandering. Like he was just wandering in different positions. Yeah, like honestly, he was moving nuts, and I like that his games like evolved into that. And I think if Christensen, he's got the ability on the ball, but if he learns how to like maneuver with it, that the stuff that Aspie is quite good at, like overlapping and that, then I think Christensen could do well there, man. I'm talking for the future, but yeah, I guess Aspie. No, let me go with my three, man. I'm not gonna go with yours, Matisse's, man. I'm going with Zuma, Christensen, and Rudiger.
I'm gonna add Aspie back in there because I feel like in a big game now, you need big characters, big captain, big mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like this brother knows what it's like he's faced this stuff before. He knows what it's squeaky bum time. So I'm gonna bring him back in.
Who are you taking out though?
Who am I taking out? Yeah, Zuma will come out for me, and I'll put Christensen back in the middle or Silva. I don't mind which one. And go Rudiger left side. I think we need to stop. I know Christensen was good on the right side, but I don't want to rotate everybody around.
Too much. You know, I hear you.
It's too much. I think Mendy knows that setup. So that's the setup I would put back in front of him. Something that we're familiar with. What about you, Mayo?
I would agree with that. To be fair, I would agree with that. Jorginho in. I said Jorginho in. Why did I say Jorginho? That's the query.
Jorginho as the Regista center.
No, but Jorginho is going to be here anyway. Jorginho and Kante are going to be here anyway. That's because of the cover thing. But
yeah, covers out, and we know Gilmour is not getting it. So yeah,
but yeah,
which to me is a bit. Like I said, I've spoken about it a bit. I feel like Gilmour could have played a part against Brighton and to not sacrifice Mount.
Same.
But
I feel like that type of stuff. It's not necessarily a disrespect, yeah. But at the same time, because obviously Mount plays in the midfield. But if you really do believe in me, like, and we're playing, I'm not saying Brighton are necessarily a bad team, but if you can't trust me against Brighton, like, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying for me? Because I feel like they sacrificed us moving forward because Mount had to drop deeper. Like, Mount is so crucial to our pressing from the front, our attacking from the front. To drop him deeper and sacrifice that must mean that he genuinely feels that Gilmour is not ready at all. Like, so I don't know, man. I would feel a type of way if I was Billy.
I feel like he might maybe underrate Gilmour a little bit, maybe because of his physical stature. Maybe he just doesn't feel like he's physically ready. Because I don't think technically he's looking at Gilmour thinking you're not ready. Because technically Gilmour's very, very good. So I think physically he might be looking at him thinking you're kind of still a kid. But we obviously know at times.
I've seen enough of him as well, you know. I'll be honest. Like this guy.
Watch tape, man. Watch tape.
No, but you have to remember, a man's come in, and the brief he hasn't even spoken to Roman. The brief he's been given is you have to win a trophy and get top 4. Like, and he's looking at the squad. Think about it. Like, he took Mount out of that first squad. He put Alonso in because he's thinking, you know what? I need these real warriors and experienced dons in. And then he realized, not like I just feel like with the Gilmour thing, we'll probably see more of him next season. But the way I see it, I just feel like he's looked at the situation and thought, okay, I need to just get it running. And even if I play you for one game and take you out, how much really is that going to do for your development this part of the season? So you played a little game and then you're not playing again.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of that comes into it. But I know that Gilmour's capable. I know that he's capable of playing some minutes. But I won't note that down as a caution to kind of watch to. The caution that is for Tuchel for me is sort of draw Southampton, Leeds, Brighton. Those sort of games should have been bankers. That's where I would more put my attention to. But like Gilmour for this, I would go with the other two.
Yeah,
definitely. This game, this game, definitely. But
who's the wing backs?
I want to see Hudson-Odoi and Chilwell. Can't lie to you.
Yeah, I agree.
We need pace. We need width. We need aggression.
We need man. We need like after football. I don't know if it's the last few games, but I'm not. The way we play has not excited me as much as I would want. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we've had a few games. We've had a few games where I've been excited. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like against these teams that we should be beating. Really, truly, there's only like, let's say 3 or 4 teams in the league where we could say they could get a result against us, or like we wouldn't be as shocked if they get a result against us. But majority, we should be beating, if I'm being honest. Like, so games against like Brighton and what was the game before that we lost with from, like, and Southampton, like, bro, we should be playing exciting, attacking football. Like, you know what I mean? And I think with Hudson-Odoi on the right, I think that is going to change that a lot. Every time he plays, we create a lot of chances, and we just seem a bit more fast and fluid, man.
100%.
I want to pin them back, and I feel like if you've got Hudson-Odoi like going forward, crossing and everything, you can do that.
Yeah. Before we get to the front three, this question in the super chat here from ITS Merchant: can we compete for the Premier League next season with no Champions League football? For me,
we can compete either way. We have to. That's why
I'm not thinking about it, because we need to get Champions League football. So you're not
gonna
like.
But what is the question though? Is he saying that? Is he saying it from the sense that if we have no Champions League and we're just solely competing?
Yeah, I get him. Yeah, because we did it under Conte. Yeah.
But I feel like we have to compete either way. Champions League, no Champions League, Super Cup,
Europa League,
Super League, whatever you want. We're competing next year.
Because people forget that Conte season, we didn't have Europa League either. We didn't have any European competition. That's the difference. It wasn't that we didn't just have Champions League. We didn't have anything. We literally just had domestic competition. So we had a whole week to work with the players tactically, and managers will always speak on how important that is. So it's a little bit of a leg up. For me, I'm not going to be doing hypotheticals, no Champions League football, because that's not the mind state I'm getting into. We're getting
Champions League, man.
Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how we get it. We have to get it.
In terms of transfer window,
this Toby brother, yeah. Stop with this nonsense, because I take back my comment. You're still, I let you slide with your Trent is a generational talent. Just let bygones be bygones, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, who's he talking about?
I said Hudson-Odoi was a 1v1 demon, but that was back before the injury, like I was referring to when he ripped up Bellerin in pre-season, and the Europa League, he was unreal. But obviously I forgot to stop calling him that, because obviously post injury he's not a 1v1 demon. Let's be serious. He's not like Zaha or something. Like, he still needs to improve in that area. But ever since I said that, Toby just won't let it go, in it. But he called Trent generational, innit? So man's not really trying to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. See, that's worse. Sorry. So you lose on that. You lose on that one. What generational, mate?
Generational.
I can't even defend. Can't even defend, mate.
That's nuts.
So it's front three, yeah?
Front three, yeah? Maya, what are you thinking, bro? Because I'm not gonna lie, this is where it gets difficult.
So who did we have we had 5.
I know who my front three is, actually.
Mason Mount, first name.
Yeah, Mason Mount's got to play. Havertz has got to play. And I would go Pulisic.
I'll go Pulisic. Sam with that Timo Werner spirit.
I'll go Pulisic. I would go Pulisic and I'll bring Werner on. The reason why I say it is because if you look at West Ham, Pulisic's ability to run with the ball and take on will be very, very needed, especially with their sort of line that they play and the way they've been conceding goals as well. I feel like if you've got Havertz moving around and Mount doing what he does, there's going to be opportunities for, we've seen what Pulisic can do. We've seen when Pulisic plays with aggression, there's going to be loads of opportunities for that. Whereas with Werner's stuff is going to be arriving. So if we can operate in the first half and play like that, and then they have to kind of come onto us, because at the end of the pause, because I know some people are childish. If in the second half, what will happen is they will keep going, and there's going to be space. And if you've got a Werner in the second half, you're calm. So I would go. That's what I'll go with.
Nah, I'll go the flip side. I'll go Werner, and Pulisic coming off the bench. I think I just think against a team like West Ham, and are we home or away?
Away.
That stadium as well, I think it will suit Werner. I think that this type of game will suit Werner. Hoping that him and Havertz link up the same way they did against Atletico, and I just think that, yeah, man, Werner, he's playing. I feel like he's been playing well. He's just not been banging. Like, he's not been banging. Like, and the same thing with Pulisic. I think he'll be better off the bench, because if you have a player like Werner you have to deal with for the first 60 minutes, and then have a player like Pulisic come on who's taking you on, he's beating you, tired legs, I think that we can either have the game sewn up before he comes on or sew up the game when he comes on. You know what I mean?
They mocked me because I said Werner should play at Wembley for the Man City game because it's a big pitch. It's a couple meters. Do you know what I mean? There's not much in it, but it makes all the difference. And Olympic Park's the same. Maybe he just uses that extra running track around the outside as well.
You know what you have to remember though? You have to remember that the backline for City is a very different backline to a West Ham. The point is a valid point, but that's what I'm saying. In the second half, like we've seen it where West Ham concede goals and have to chase. So imagine that you're trying to chase, and then you've got to worry about Werner running the other way. Your head's going to be fried. You'll be thinking, this guy, this German, this ODTT, bro. Where's he running to? So like either way, I think either way works. I would go for the former as opposed to the latter, but either way works. There's even an argument that Ziyech's creativity, you could bring him on to do stuff as well. But yeah, like
Ziyech's still not like he's getting better. Ziyech's getting better, and I do love.
I think you have to play Ziyech with Werner. You have to play Ziyech with Werner.
Yeah.
His pace is then counteracted with like Ziyech's sort of like lethargic but composed self, and that's why that sort of movement of Werner bombing down, cutting back to Ziyech works well, because they work at different sort of paces. Whereas if you operate with like a Werner and a Pulisic, it's like one wants to run, one wants to dribble. And people are going to be like, wait, hold on.
But Pulisic doesn't get his head up sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what Werner, he needs someone to put his head up.
Exactly. So literally, because people think it's the same thing. No, dribbling, this guy is doing close control running. Werner is literally just running. Like he's just the road runner running. And like when you have that, the ball's never going to go to one another. Yeah. Whereas if you're running and someone's a bit more composed, you can pick your head up and then pass it across. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
In that Man City game, it worked to a T, which is what I kind of had in my head before. Werner can play, make those runs, and everyone said, what about his finishing? Cool, don't let him shoot them. Just don't press the circle button. Do you know what I'm saying? Just press the pass button. And that's what he did. He created a goal. One of them was offside. He created the same goal again. It went in. And Ziyech made that run into the box that he made against Atletico Madrid in the home game as well. So I think I'm going to be different and go with Ziyech, Mount, and Werner up front and save.
That's what I was about to say. I was just about to say that I might switch it.
Pulisic for Real Madrid. That's what I would do. So I think that Real Madrid game, I need ball retention, and Ziyech gives the ball away a lot. Werner gives the ball away a lot, and I want Pulisic and Kai for the Real Madrid game.
Pulisic sometimes, when he's dribbling and because he's a bit
but not as much.
Yeah, the ball flimsy.
If you tell him, if you tell him calm down,
hey, Ramos will break his ribs. I'm not on it.
I'm saying, and you know what? With Pulisic, he can draw fouls against that Real Madrid team as well. And
yeah,
he saw against Porto, he draw bare fouls, and it might.
He can commit. That's why people were calling him the next Hazard. He can commit, but there's levels to it. But I wouldn't be mad at. I wouldn't be mad at any of that. I just feel like we definitely have to win. I feel like again, early goals against this West Ham team, because we know they can concede, and then when they decide to try and retaliate, we've got a better defense than most when we are actually up for the job. So we then hit them again. But yeah,
Toby, you don't usually sit through the whole stream, fam. You usually gone back out. Just leave.
Hey, no, I can't lie. I saw him say something about you saying Sancho Pulisic. I don't know. I didn't want to repeat it.
Pulisic. You don't like Pulisic. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like Pulisic.
A lot of people hate on Pulisic, but the reality is he's actually so young. Like
he's very young, bro.
For him to garner this much attention is crazy.
If Tottenham had Pulisic, they'd be crying from tears of joy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts,
they'd be crying tears of joy from. Look how experienced their forward line is.
They've got one winger better than him.
Am I right to say that? Am I right to say that Pulisic has scored in the cup final?
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm right to say that. How many Spurs players have scored in cup finals?
How many finals have they even been to in Toby's lifetime?
I know Pulisic scored in the cup final last year.
Yeah, how many Spurs players have scored in cup finals? Has Pulisic got more cup final goals than Harry Kane?
Oh,
that's interesting. That's interesting. Toby, we can loan him to you, we can loan him. We can send him on loan.
Toby, yeah. Your club's in financial trouble. Do you know what I'm saying? You might want to just take what you can get out here on these.
That's why Mourinho was smiling when he left. You know, he said, "All right, cool. You want to sack me and give me 20 mil when there's no Super League? Say no more. You're gonna burn."
This guy Toby, man. He talks about Chelsea more than Tottenham sometimes. Maybe listen, just focus on your club, man. Focus on your
secretly
club.
loves us, man. Secretly loves us. Secretly.
Focus on you, bro.
He wishes he was on the right side of that, man.
No, he might be a Chelsea fan. You know, his logo is he's wearing blue.
Bro, listen. 1 minute he's wearing Bayern, then Inter Milan, then Chelsea. You know, I never know. You know, the logo's basketball.
Toby's a Chelsea name as well. Spurs names are names like Fred and that.
This is why he was okay with the Super League. Right. Remember? This is why, because he likes basketball, so franchise. You know what I'm saying? These basketball fans, man. These Americans taking our game. Toby's an American at heart. He's an American at heart. But yeah, man. I mean, that's the front three. Listen, I think
we just gotta get the dub, man. We gotta get the dub. No stunting. I don't want to feel it's no midday on the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like wait, what time is it actually?
5:30.
What time's the game?
Thank God.
5:30. Woo.
Me too.
12:30. I would actually. If it was 12:30, I would say we would lose still.
Yeah, because them brothers just rub the dust out of their eyes at that time. They're not ready. They're never ready.
There's something about that game that's not good for us still. So 5:30, we should get the dub. Like enough time to rest, you know, prepare, see a few games, you know, get pumped, you know, even play games if they want to play games. You know, some of them are young as well. They'll probably jump on COD and that. And then come and get the job done. Yeah, man.
Win this game, move on to Madrid, get the result we need in Madrid, go to Fulham, spank Fulham and make sure they're relegated, go back to Madrid, qualify for the final, and then see out the rest of the season. That's what needs to be done. Like it's a tough week, but with togetherness and proper Chelsea spirit, it'll be a good week.
Proper Chelsea spirit. Proper Chelsea spirit.
You know that propaganda there. You have to speak with propaganda.
I can't believe you just said that. Man said proper.
I might have to clip that out.
Proper Chelsea. What did you say? Come on, you Chelsea. That's what we need, bro. We need proper Chelsea spirit. Listen, this week has the potential to be so sick.
Yo, what is this transfer just popping up on my screen?
What's going on?
Konaté, the centre back. Is it Konaté to Liverpool?
Konaté.
Was it done?
It's happened.
Yeah, here we go soon, fam. Sorry, my pronunciation is a joke.
Oh, man.
Yeah, damn. That's big for them still.
Konaté to Liverpool. Here we go soon, fam. Fabrizio Romano just reported it. Hurrah. He's a good player.
He's probably one of the only, like, the top, let's say, top 6 centre backs that aren't already at like big clubs.
Yeah, like him next to Van Dijk.
That's big. That's
him
big,
next
man.
to Van Dijk could be a bit mad, you know. Lord have mercy.
That's big for them.
You know what? The signing is a good one, yeah. Because for me, like, you know, when you look at something about partnerships, he was the one that is a bit more important than Upper was. I'll be honest. I feel like he's the one that is like more of a rock. Like Upper Meccano is a good player, but like Konaté, he's a very good defender. Man, fam, listen, you don't know that I'm playing. You see me, yeah. Sometimes you have to switch the passion on for the fans, innit? Proper Chelsea. I just want to win. I just care about winning. We'll talk.
No, facts.
But
you need that, man.
That's good signing for them, though. Good signing for them.
That's a big signing. It's a release clause that they're paying of 35 million euros. Not bad.
That's a very good signing.
That's the first mark in the transfer window made, people. So you know what I'm saying. We need to get a move on. So we do need Champions League football, by the way. I test merchant. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes.
They might not even get Champions League football though. They might not even get it.
That's why it's very smart of them to secure that early, because they might not get it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen, if we win our games, the next time I come and shoot, I'm gonna be talking like this, like it's WWE, like just holding the mic like this. Listen, we have to finish strong, man. We're nearly done.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to see no miraculous Hazard. Yeah, he's playing Stone Cold music. He comes out, does a madness against Chelsea, celebrates. Nah, I don't need that. I need us to get the jerk.
Someone said Sule. We don't need Sule, man. Sule is like a locomotive train. Like he's just too one-dimensional.
Oh no.
You don't need Sule.
No.
Sule is them old school.
I've seen him get ripped too many times. I've seen him get ripped way too many times.
Mad.
But boy, listen. 3-point collection. Let's get it.
W settings only, people. You already know what time it is.
Let's get it.
Sam, bro, final thoughts and let the people know where to find you, bro.
Well, scoreline, I'm saying that we should beat them 2-0. Yeah. I think it should be a comfortable, first goal, maybe the first 15 minutes. Second goal, maybe when Pulisic comes on, changes the game, chips it into Werner. He scores his brace. Everyone's happy, yeah. But aside from that, you can see me on YouTube. My YouTube is Sam O. It's probably in the bio. If it's not, then just put Sam O. I did a video recently on the madness. I was very proud of this thumbnail actually. I put ESL 2K22 because these man they're trying to turn football into, and I did that. So if you want to check that out, go check it out because I was very proud of that thumbnail. But catch me on my channel, subscribe, and that I'm trying to get to 1K by I don't know when, but I just want 1K.
Just get it done as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? Link is in the description, people. Mayo, bro, let them know where to find you and final thoughts.
Mayo Quadri, Instagram, Twitter, Versus, Stoppage Time TV. Put an article out this week actually, which was pretty dope. My colleague put out an article about Lingard, which is pretty dope. Should have some interviews coming back soon. They're all done. I just need to release them. I think we're going to win 3-1. I'm going big. I'm talking my WWE stuff. And yeah, man, listen, people, just be happy, man. I know it's random, but people need to just be happy at this time. A lot of people are angry right now. And a lot of people fans are just angry. Be happy, man. If you're angry, go and play football outside. Yeah, man. I've seen too much anger.
What you just said, was so simple but so true. So
everyone's just angry.
I feel you though. I feel you. There's a lot going on in the world, man.
Links are in the chat. And by the way, mods, if you want to do that from now on, I don't know who's the most, who's in here the most, George or one of you guys. If you want to put the guests when we have them, their link to their channels in the chat. Definitely do that throughout or do it at the end of the streams or whatever. I think you guys can put links in, I'm pretty sure. But the links are in there, so make sure you guys go and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe here as well if you're new. Smash the like button. There's one dislike. I'm sure it's a brother who thought Kepa was better than Mendy, or I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to offend you. I don't know what I did to offend you, but it is what it is. Maybe it was a Jorginho talk earlier. This is it, people. I'll see you, man, tomorrow. You already know what the game. Then Dammy and Anita roll through here, and we cook up another storm. So listen, let's hopefully we secure the W. Big up, bless up yourselves, and good luck to the Arsenal fans who are running riot. Make sure you man don't get arrested. Peace.
Yeah, good luck to them.